into a matchup where they have a self-sufficient top in Ssumday.
So
because I do not want them to have plays around top, but hey, a Ryze first pick works too.
Jiizuke was right in his preview saying can't wait for the third game, but he won't have Syndra against it.
3 games in a row now. Ryze for Abbeddage, but we will for the first time get a different matchup in the mid lane, given that the Syndra is on the ban table. It does look, though, that EG is going to continue to leap for that Lee Sin.
And don't forget that, I mean, obviously, Contracts has been playing the Lee Sin previously, but this is a flex pick. They can flex it.
True.
We know that their solo laners can play it, so I do want to keep that in mind when I look at the rest of this draft. No, we're picking the Aphelios.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit odd to pick the Aphelios so early. I mean, there's still Trist and Aphelios remaining, and you don't have a Thresh to protect Aphelios. So I think it's a little bit of a heavy commitment from EG, particularly given that 100 Thieves could decide to try to heavily punish bot, and Aphelios is not nearly as safe of a laner as a Tristana would be. So I think this is a good pick, but it doesn't need to be picked quite so early.
It's interesting to me to see how Danny's so successful on Trist and still opts away from it. Normally you would think just go through what you know has never lost and has a crazy KDA, and you just smurfed on.
Yeah, it's the standard best of 5 rule, right? You're the winning team. Don't change much. Make them change something.
Yeah, but on the other side, I mean, 100 Thieves is now drafting Gangplank, which,
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
That's the gauntlet.
I like that.
That's the gauntlet.
I like
that.
Yeah. Well, at this point, if he smurfs on Abbeddage on LeBlanc as well, then I think we got the answer. We got a mid laner. But yeah, I like the LeBlanc here too. This is a pick that Jiizuke has played. It's one of the few AP picks that allows him to have the sort of proactivity and aggression that we typically associate with him being on AD mids. And it gives him the opportunity to play 1-3-1 later in the game, which I really, really like for EG. So, you know, I know Emily and I talked about the Syndra. I think he's really good on the pick, but stylistically, I actually love him more on picks like the LeBlanc or like the Lucian. So
It's gonna be
I'm like it.
pretty good here too, because GP can't lock you down, and neither can the Viego. So the Ryze even has a hard time actually locking. You gotta hand 2 spells onto LeBlanc to actually keep her in place. So this LeBlanc pick can be really slippery, and that's exactly when she's the most deadly.
Yeah, and it's Lee Sin LeBlanc, right? This is like one of the most potent combos in the game. If you're caught out as Ryze and Lee Sin is there and LeBlanc gets the chains on you, you're dead. So I think this gives them mid-prio and just kill threat, and it gives them the ability to play in their comfort zone later in the game.
That's Jayce against GP again. Yeah. And this matchup did not go well, so I think they're going to be counting on Jiizuke to influence the side lanes a bit more now. So
Ezreal, Leona are the final 2 pickups here for 100 Thieves. So the bottom side of the map is going to look very different.
Yeah. And I like the Leona, especially. They've continued to go to this pick. I think it's just one of the strongest supports in this patch. And it gives you the ability to go for kills bottom, right? Like, yeah, you could pick Alistar to deny here, but the difference between Alistar and Tristana and Alistar Aphelios is that the AD carry is not self-sufficient. So if it's ever a situation where Ignar decides to leave the lane, it can get really dangerous really, really quickly for Danny. So overall, I like the bot lane answer from 100 Thieves, but when I look at the overall draft from EG, I think this is exactly how they like to play.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like this draft for EG specifically, although I will say that, you know, theoretically, 100 Thieves should, at a point, be able to match them inside. So it's gonna depend on execution for me. I'm not the biggest Ezreal proponent either, but I don't know if that's just me disliking it right now in the meta because he's a little slow. Like, I don't think he's bad, but
I feel like if
they
both
did pinch the champ pool too, so that's.
I feel like if
something to
both
point out.
teams, and correct me if I'm wrong, if they play their comps essentially optimal, Abbeddage on the rise for the 3rd time, but this time in a different matchup. On to the Rift and back over to the casters for the call.
Thank you very much, Dash. Froby reporting for duty yet again. I am Phreak. That is Kobe. I'm the one on the right. I don't know why I said that. I already said I'm whatever. It's fine. Let's move on. Either way, we have a very exciting matchup here because we have a series on our hands.
I like this is probably the first time that it's taken you this long to do the duo name.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell through the cracks.
Over 2 hours,
first,
you know?
First couple games. This series, though, Phreak.
Ooh, Danny is going to take some damage.
Yeah, he takes first damage of the game. It's a huge, tremendous loss. I don't know how he'll possibly recover from that. Oh, wait, he can recall.
Yeah, and of course, the junglers are important here. Check out the free preview match for this game, as Closer has been, I think, a real standout performer on 100 Thieves. Contracts also doing incredibly well, and those are the two.
I mean, that's definitely a well-selected matchup. Part of this, the reason this series is so fun, yes, you know, the overarching, both teams are extremely confident in their own play style. They're forcing a lot of plays. These are two of the aggressive teams in the LCS that are, you know, this fight for the soul of the LCS.
Yeah.
They're basically on the same side of that fight. They're both trying to make early plays. But the other reason this series is so exciting and has been delivering is all the rivalries. Contracts versus 100 Thieves and versus Closer specifically. 100 Thieves kept him in Academy for so long on the bench. And now he's really stepped up in this game, back on his Lee Sin. This is his most played champion of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
For Contracts, for personal priority. That's why, even with the Viego not being first pick, he still picked the Lee Sin and let Viego back into the hands of Closer. You know, most confident champion, most comfort champion, basically, for him. But to see him go up against the 100 Thieves, you know, roster in this manner is really exciting to see. His journey back from Academy has been quite long and fraught with a lot of adversity. So see if he can pull it out here once again. I think it's a bold move, letting Closer take the Viego once again, considering how strong he's performed out in the first couple games.
Level 2 on both sides. The top lane, still a pretty close battle between the two right now. Jiizuke on his second most played all time. Actually, Ryze is his #1. Actually, he has a higher win rate on the Ryze as well. But, you know, it's been taken away, right? Abbeddage pushing him down ever so slightly in the pool.
That's another one of the rivalries in this series, Phreak.
Yeah.
It's Jiizuke and Abbeddage. It's a budding rivalry. You know, first emerged on the Crackdown when Abbeddage was talking about Jiizuke. If he doesn't get Ryze, then he's going to int. Well, it turns out that's not true, Phreak, at least not in this series, because he has not gotten Ryze. It's been stolen away from him, and he has not inted. It has actually required the Syndra ban, and now on the LeBlanc. Meanwhile, it's a top lane focus first time around here for Contracts, as well as Closer, but Contracts is here first.
In a 2v1, he's slowed, and he is first blood.
Early jungler gets the worm, Phreak, and early jungler also gets the camp top lane very effectively. I don't know about the crab, though, because mid lane's being pushed out, so they have to give priority over to the Ryze, and Contracts has to give up the Scuttle rewards.
I am not sure where Ssumday's ward was placed, but he did not see Lee Sin come to gank him, even though we had the exact same path for Closer. It was the same red Raptors Gromp B level 3, but despite having the option of covering top, was not there in time. And the gank just comes through with no answer at all.
Contracts, as we were talking about, setting up that jungle matchup here. This time around, he actually strikes first. Part of the big reason 100 Thieves won that first game, you know, Closer creating so many opportunities for 100 Thieves, forcing around mid, top, and bottom, basically influencing all lane matchups. This time around, though, he's actually been delayed so many times on this Raptor with multiple leashes, and then finally gives it up. That's a lot of wasted time. So very well done by the EG team, not just Contracts. It's a team game to protect your junglers' camps. You know, you saw Ignar move up the river to just hand the Scuttle Crab over to Contracts, and meanwhile, Jiizuke's defending his Raptors for him. So the EG squad playing for jungle definitely pays dividends. Here's another look at it.
Lane, that's where it went.
Yeah, it's in the lane brush. We talked about the importance of that barrel game for the early stages with the Jayce matchup, and that's why he did it, so that Impact can't then drop tower aggro after getting harassment off, or drop minion aggro, excuse me, by dropping into the brush. That's why you do those lane wards. Ssumday does get punished for it, though. That's good communication. When you see replays like that highlight the ward in the brush, very good communication by Impact saying, hey, this man is trying to win lane off me by warding the brush so I can't drop minion aggro. Contracts, punish him for it.
Yep.
And he does.
Closer almost found Contracts in his jungle, but he skipped Raptors himself and was there before Viego was inside to get vision. So Contracts has slunk all the way around, pretend that's a word, to look for a top lane play. Impact is low, and it might mean Ssumday wants to take a battle. But honestly, GP down to 40% health.
These are the scary baits.
Yeah.
Because you can actually get killed in some of these baits.
True.
Very, very good job there by Impact, though. He doesn't play it too stupidly. I mean, basically, in those types of bait scenarios, you tell your laner, hey, play stupid right now. Play obvious.
And Kobe, how often have you seen your top laner be like, hey, my wave's going to freeze?
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch up on his side. It's like, it's going to go into their turret. I can't recall safely, or I actually just...
I love these mind games though, Phreak, and the timing works out. That recall off for jungler now. So you thought you had the upper hand, and you finally went for it, but dropping out of vision there pays off for Ssumday. Now he gets to regain control because Impact just used all his mana, thinking that it was a full recall getting off, and Contracts is left, so the safety net is not there. And now he's just sitting up there with no mana left.
Flash can't get the rune prison as Jiizuke flashes in time to see it coming. Root will not land, closer will not stun, and it is a trade of flashes across the mid laners.
And that's a very beneficial trade for the LeBlanc because the Ryze is so easily punishable by Jiizuke, who gets to choose these all-in timings with the W. And so when you trade mid laner flashes like that, the LeBlanc is very happy about it.
And here we are at a very tight game. Closer and Impact gonna pretty much see each other. Now they really will. But it does mean a few minions have been dropped off. The CS lead in top is 20 for Ssumday.
It does mean a lot of jungle time spent though. And that stun not hitting means that there's gonna be no dive. So Impact survives. He's been able to ward off death. And even though he's down in minions, Contracts got bottom scuttled during the Viego showing in top lane and continues to farm. So Contracts farm numbers up, Impact farm numbers down. Yes, it's really rough for Jayce if you don't get a lot of early pressure, but look at that. He's not rushing lethality or anything. Vamp Scepter first for the sustain, for the lane,
And the root is going to land the Lee Sin Q. Ward hop kick in. Turret shot will not kill, but does Abbeddage die? Ult comes across, flashed away from Lee Sin, and the man will live. Abbeddage outplays the 1v3 under turret.
Definitely well done by him. And the Gangplank ultimate coming down gives them the fear of God in their hearts, Phreak, as closers coming through. Slows on everybody, means they have to dissipate from their attempted dive. They didn't quite have enough damage to finish it off there, with Abbeddage. Nice little defensive maneuver there, and does mean he gets to push the lane back out on the other side. But you see the attempt. The idea is, just as we stated, very beneficial for LeBlanc when mid lane flashes are traded, so they want to get the kill onto Ryze, but they used a lot in that attempt. No flash now for Contracts, no ultimate off the Lee Sin either. Lee Sin, flash and ultimate is mostly a death sentence for these solo lanes. Now having avoided that through mid lane, for Abbeddage, they've actually turned that advantage right back around.
So, pretty much a tied game here and a tied series.
And the next thing you look for, Phreak, to try and break this tie is probably going to be a setup around Viego, because Closer's got flash and ultimate ready. So, huge potential there to solo someone out. Contracts has the roam from Ignar to give him full security to finish up on this Rift Herald. I think the eye proc is going to come in time. Not going to come in time. 3k health left on it, so even with that eye proc, they have to give up priority to this Viego. Ult difference is so big, my friend. When you have level 6 on Viego, the execution damage for these early fights is so threatening that they have to give up priority. This is so beneficial for Huhi.
Flash stun, Impact going to be locked in, and Impact going to be knocked down thanks to Ignite coming through for Huhi.
This is just so big for them, working off of this Viego priority. Closer, because he's got his extra flash and his ultimate now, is able to force this one. Ryze, Realm Warp again, Phreak. Every single game, very impactful Realm Warps have come out of Abbeddage. See, what's the reason for not doing this Rift Herald? I guess Aphelios was moved further up the river.
Yeah.
He was only halfway up the river, though.
Yeah, I think they decided that maybe they wanted recalls to come through, maybe mana pools were low, but FBI was last thing under turret, and they're like, let's just not take the 4-4.
I think best answer, yeah, is huge tempo for Gangplank. Look at that. Ssumday is richest person. He had not bought. He also was just sitting on, I believe, base items at this time.
Corrupting Potion, Doran's Blade.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, you got your one extra little mini buy off, but basically, he had not spent, and he's the richest person in the game. Yeah. So, big tempo advantage by not forcing Rift Herald there, getting everybody their resets. Now, with the steel caps plus the sheen, so much top lane priority for Ssumday. Ultimate is available for him. He's definitely going to be able to secure a Rift Herald attempt later in the game for 100 Thieves with the priority that he has. He's taking out the vision now, so all of the groundwork is being laid out by 100 Thieves. They're not taking those early game chances. by grasping for too much.
Okay, and he's able to get this tie. Oh, okay. Well, most of the value of Cannon is in the gold at the last hit, and less so in the experience, so really does miss out on the lion's share of what's coming out of that one. Whatever, it'll be okay. Knocks down most of the rest of it. A very small lead to 100 Thieves, but not much to write home about in the 1-to-1 score line so far.
Meanwhile, AD carries are going to be all alone bottom lane because double support roam timers and they're level 6. They want blood. Huhi here with the Leona ultimate trying to find a pick. Flashes are available for most people on the top side, save for Lee Sin, and he's already mobile with the safeguard, so not a lot of great targets, but might be able to force a summoner.
Here we go, round 2 Earth Herald on contracts, making himself known as they're battling back and forth for control wards. These are all kind of spotted out.
Yeah, Aphelios is here once again, so this is again EG making the call to bring up bottom lane to force this Rift Herald. Now, we will keep track of the payment for that. Will be Ezreal working up towards the bottom. You can see he's almost at the tower now. He actually clears the ward instead of getting early damage. Is still going to get there basically when they get to the turret, though.
So let's track what is lost overall, because right now it is a full wave. Smite comes through for contracts, ult away for close, but the Q's still going to land. The kick back, the shutdown, and Danny gets rewarded with a kill.
Okay, buddy. Looks like no turret plate on bottom. It's really close to getting one turret plate on bottom, but Closer went for the smite fight, gives his life up for it. There is your flash for Leona ultimate that Huhi's been looking for the last minute. Does finally get it on top side.
But instant summon in mid lane. This is going to be all of the rest of, excuse me, of mid turret going down. They'd already out of the first 2 plates. They get the third with some extra work, and Danny gets 490 onto that one, as he is a rich man.
Something funny must have just happened. Okay, so
I heard
for those of you at home, you can participate by watching, Jiizuke type in chat when you look at the pro view, but we get to hear him laugh. And his laugh is very unique and gives us a little signal before something happens each time on the side of EG. He has just been having the time of his life during this series. Another cackle goes up there. Not sure what it was pertaining to because no action actually popped up. And we might actually see a bottom side transition with the Dragon now drawing your resources over that way. Yes, the teleports are ready for both top laners, but Impact's dry on mana. Meanwhile, Ssumday would be ready to roll.
So now we get to see what's next, because no dragons have been taken. The turret plates are falling soon, and it is EG who have gotten more, right? All 5 turret plates in mid lane compared to 2 in top and 1 in bottom. First turret gold itself functionally identical to a single plate, and the Herald charge in mid managed to hit tier 2, so looking really good so far on the Evil Geniuses side. There's a single turret plate taken in bot lane. Jiizuke has already been sent to go split push down to the bottom lane as Ignar walks up for some ward control to fight for the red buff, but still will be claimed by Closer. Auto Smite would take it, wants to pull it away from Smite range. Oh, he doesn't have Smite up, that's why he can't do it. And it's going to let it reset because Contracts could have, but now a huge CC combo goes off out of the mid lane, and Jiizuke going to flash the safety, gets the chain up, and will not live. Closer is in, and Closer's helped to find a new disguise. Ults in, finds the stun, finds the double kill. And once again, it is the Closer difference as 100 Thieves work their way back into this game.
That Viego, man, that Viego finds another one. But the big setup for it, Phreak, is, of course, Rune Prison. LeBlanc, one of the most annoying champions towards the mid stages of the game if you don't have point and click, but Abbeddage does have point and click. Rune Prison goes down on him, so they're able to land this consecutive CC, burst him down low enough for Closer to come flash ult in, get the execution impact.
Sidestep on the Flash Zenith Blade, but ultimately gets the barrel in his face and goes down to Ssumday, and just like that, 100 Thieves are now 4-2 on the scoreboard.
Off of the bottom side pick on LeBlanc, they get the kills, they get the dragon, and they get the dive. When 100 Thieves get a foot in the door, Phreak, they are going to kick that sucker wide open. Here's another look at it. Again, Jiizuke on LeBlanc goes right into their faces. So he gets hit with the Zenith Blade and the Rune Prison. Bursts down to 20% here, and it's up to Closer. He flash ults over the Tri-Brush, gets the kill. They also pick up the one on bottom side here. Nowhere for Contracts to get out. It's going to be the reset for him. Picks up Lee Sin right over the back of the wall, so instant objective. Aftermath there for 100 Thieves. That one bottom lane play turned into Dragon and bot turret and 2 kills.
Yeah, it's looking really good. I mean, there's so much done. I thought, Evil Geniuses off of the early plays, they felt like they were in a sense of euphoria, but the dive is better at this point with 100 Thieves. I know, it's a bit of a stretch.
I knew you were about to force it because you can tell with your setup.
Yeah.
You have this cadence. Meanwhile, Jiizuke, he's about to get tower dove.
Yeah, which version of this one? Which 3 is it going to be? It's closer. It's Huhi and Ssumday. That's the dive we're looking for, but Huhi, yes, gets out of turret aggro in time. I mean, I guess to watch from the wings.
I like that Zenith blade. Huhi, nice one, right?
Yeah.
In line with the distortion. Makes sure to lock it down and just barely doesn't have to take the last tower shot, so he gets out alive. The 100 Thieves keep on rolling. Previously, bottom side tower dive onto the split push Jayce. This time around, top side dive onto the split push LeBlanc. And yes, Evil Geniuses have been pushing back afterwards, so there is a toll, but the toll is about the same in objectives, meanwhile losing out on the kill each time. 100 Thieves continue to increase this gold. Read 1.4k FTX gold advantage for them, and they actually get here in time to keep the tower standing, however close it is to going down.
Next up, Dragon number 2 in 2 minutes time. 100 Thieves 1-0 in that scoreline so far. Going to be a while till Soul may happen, but obviously can be on the docket here. A fairly close one in the mid game.
I definitely agree, but it's really hard because a lot of the strengths are lined up where 100 Thieves have a lot more trump cards for split pushing. Because they early pick this Gangplank and have access to the ultimate, it gives you that extra push on another wave either side of the map from a global presence. Plus, because they've gotten the extra kills on their side, the Viego brings you the threat for the actual objective. You can easily burn down either neutral with having, reset potential on focusing out a player. So you've got a lot of split map advantage for 100 Thieves, while EG, they don't have any security for their split pushers. They keep getting chunked out. Jiizuke's not getting out of this one either.
Distortion, Mimic, guess correctly. Yes, it's going to land. Auto Q is going to secure the kill. FBI now on the board. 6-2 in this game.
Same story, Phreak. Split push, pick off the split pusher. Yes, Impact will take the toll on bottom side there. EG, once again, you get paid for everybody on 100 Thieves going for the kill. But it's not like they don't get to push after picking off their kill too. So minion wave moved up, Ssumday on the chase, but Impact dodges away from 2 barrels, gets hit by the 3rd.
And he's going to land the auto attack for the move speed as well. So Impact's going to try to run away with the gate, get some decent damage. Does Ssumday survive it? Yep. True shot barrage guess is wrong. Ssumday takes the solo kill over Impact.
Yeah. Again, the strengths are lined up so that both teams are looking for similar game plans of splitting, but EG just have less tools as far as picking people off in transition and the mobility there. It's just really well played by 100 Thieves. They're just rotating these cooldowns. Next teleports that comes up from Evil Geniuses is Impact, and guess what? It will already be answered by Ssumdays. With that Rift Trail, they'll just blow open mid lane as well. It gives you more area to work with. And 100 Thieves sticking to the game plan here. Very well executed. This time's up with Dragon number 2. You can easily transition to that. You pay for it with top tower, but that tower gold is going down anyway, and it is going to be Dragon number 2, setting yourselves up for Soul Point.
All right, set this up to halfway. Meanwhile, the turret score will be a reasonable 4-3, as mid lane tier 2 was also killed a while back, so EG doing a good job with turret scores. The problem is, the scoreboard still shows a lead for 100 Thieves. Jiizuke going to stay topside, get a bit of damage here. Just for the minions, though, as 100 Thieves have recalled and walked over in time. They will not bleed out any more of those objectives. Baron on the map, not likely to be an easy target, or an early one.
Now is the fun moment in the game, Phreak.
Yeah.
Because both teams have lost all of their outer towers' safety, and it just provides all these different angles for looking for picks. Yes, huge advantage to 100 Thieves currently, but EG do have the possibilities with Ignar's Alistar He's known for roaming around. He always looks for these flank angles. And if you set that up, you've got plenty of burst damage in a LeBlanc, in a Lee Sin to try and follow up. They're going for it, but they kick for disengage instead.
Decent damage. Contracts will be stunned. They flash in for the combo, and they won't quite kill him. Goredrigger buys some time, but Abbedage is in and gets the first kill of the fight. Second one going to be a stun onto LeBlanc. Jiizuke going to be attacked. Nearly trades one back, but will not quite get it. Everyone stays alive. 100 Thieves off to a 2-0 team fight.
And that swing and a miss really, really bodes poorly for this game for EG. That one's going to give over Baron priority. That one is going to seal the deal for your map state, even with Impact getting damage on bottom side and probably finishing up that turret. That's going to further empower the split push here on the side of 100 Thieves. It's going to be rough going here for EG, trying to salvage after this one. So, Contracts, he sees the attempted counter jungle, and they think it's just going to be, oh, this is perfect. We've got Ignar here right next to me. We'll prey on him for a pick. But then he sees Huhi. He kicks, disengage, still gets stunned up. Easy fall up there for 100 Thieves. They catch them in the attempt at the quick play. Closer can ult over the side of the red buff pit, so he's not going to give over the counter kill. Abbedage barely survives. Corrupting Potion chugging from the very beginning. That's why you always hit your consumables as soon as you enter combat, kids. Saves you from kills like that. And this is going to be now the 100 Thieves coming for the 100 towers.
See how many they can get. They've started with 3, and now everything else is to be killed. Tier 2's the most valuable turrets on the map, and they're going to start with 1 in the mid lane. Gangplank pushing the bot lane, going to go for a bit more, as Jiizuke is split off from the map. Get some farm, get some turret pressure. Not much you're going to do as LeBlanc holding mid, and end of the day, Danny is fine. He is simply going to knock down the mid lane wave, feels safe enough, has bodyguards nearby, cannon minion down.
And for 100 Thieves, when you see LeBlanc on the tower, that just means you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about the burst damage coming through. Teleport channel will give you enough of a notice. You just have to look around in Fog of War. You'll be able to see the teleport channel coming from Jiizuke when they decide to bring LeBlanc over. You actually see him now. He went past the tower. He's full recalling. So EG want to make us. Oh, he cancels it.
Okay, mid-tease still happening then, as the turret is full health, but the wave is still just barely alive. They'll knock those down, and we'll get a little bit done. So Jiizuke is going to stay in the side lane. And look at this. It is 2-1 in turrets. Mid-tier 2, bot tier 2 killed. 400 Thieves. Jiizuke is going to trade back top lane tier 2. And honestly,
with that deficit,
that's not horrible when you're against, the Red Bull Baron power play. And you're like, we got 1 turret back for it. We lost some waves of farm, but no one farmed top lane from them.
You're looking at your deal. You just went to the market. You're bartering. You got a 2 for 1. You're like, you got the 1. You're like, well, at least it wasn't 4 towers for 1, right?
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, they had the leverage here. So, pretty good good bargaining here by Jiizuke on Evil Geniuses. But it is still advantage 100 Thieves. You mentioned the road towards Dragon Soul. 3rd dragon spawning in 40 seconds. By all looks, 100 Thieves have rights to it.
Yeah, because you're trying to count the EG ways into this. And if they don't pull off this big surprise play with, basically it has to come from Ignar and Contracts to be able to separate 100 Thieves and get that pick for the team. Barring that, you don't even have a huge poke advantage because LeBlanc can get punished by the point and click from Rune Prison. Abbedage is well equipped to stop him, and then makes it very easy for Leona to follow up, stun the LeBlanc. The only other poke he has is the Jayce EQs, but you're also playing against an Ezreal who has huge range advantage there, so it's kind of difficult for EG to find an advantage into the map here. They're losing out on split push. They lose out on setup to the objectives because they have no vision on the map. And then you also lose out in the straight up fight unless you get a surprise from Alistar Lee Sin to start it out. So 100 Thieves very happy with the cards that they've been able to gain for themselves through this game. Closer again. We'll come back to this in the draft as far as getting the Viego and EG opting to go for the Lee Sin side of it, but now is dream scenario. You're late game as Viego. You've got your Sterix gauge, so you're not scared about getting bursted down. So even if the team fight breaks out, you're ready to flash ult in on somebody, get your resets, and and run this one straight to the bank.
Some nice supportive options have come through for 100 Thieves. Ssumday finishes, not only does he have Grievous Wounds, but a Serpent's Fang is in for the Eclipse Shield, the Lee Sin W, and obviously the Aphelios Shield Bow, all going to be cut in half.
And you start to look down the item list on your opponents. What can they do to stop our Aphelios resets? Well, I don't see any Zhonyas. I don't see any Guardian Angels. They're just too poor to afford those luxury items,
right.
Those utility items that could be possible answers if they had gotten a bigger advantage early on. But there's the slow.
Gangplank ult means the stun's going to come across. Danny at half health with True Shot Barrage. That's going to look really good. All right, well done. That is Summoner spell down, Cleanse forced. Cooldown's definitely shorter on the 100 Thieves side. They can wait 4 minutes for the Mountain Soul, but probably shouldn't need to.
I do like the choice there from Danny, though. He critically holds his flash on Aphelios. That
big damage. Yeah! Abbeddage gets a solo kill, yet another on the career. And hey, nice Ryze. See you in game 4.
That bounced pretty far. That was a far bounce. Flashes away, still gets hit with it, and Abbeddage, supreme control of the side lanes on the Ryze. Once again, he's level 16 now. He's had great realm warps all games in this series. The steal away of this champion from Jiizuke does pay off. Here's another look at it. He's watching for the collapse on him before the 1v1 happens. Even though he only gets the slow, doesn't matter because you can just Rune Prism him off. You've got your E bounce there off the minions. No problem.
The bounce already started, right? Yep. Like it hit the caster minion before he flashed, so Jiizuke late on the realization that was going to be lethal, and the projectile was already on the way. So, I mean, obviously well done by Abbeddage, and 1/10 of a second off from Jiizuke's timing would have meant he lives instead. But this is the game state we are in, a 7,000 gold lead. Yes, that FTX gold advantage is nearly insurmountable. 100 Thieves are absolutely smashing. They are 2.5 minutes away from an Infernal Soul that removes even more of the possibilities of a comeback because you'll immune a Shock Blast, you'll immune the first third of LeBlanc's damage, and now they're going for a Baron Sneak. As Closer and Abbeddage just putting in the damage, happy to let this Viego tank the shots. It's not going to be a problem, and they will burn this down. FBI shows up just to make sure wants to be in the scoreboard, and indeed, Baron Nashor is slain.
Now we should, because this one is pretty wrapped up here, analyze the game plan that 100 Thieves came into this series with. Two most important things for them clearly from these first 3 champ selects have been steal away this Ryze, whittle down the Jiizuke champion pool, and our priority on getting Closer Viego. Both of those have paid off pretty well. I think EG have responded to at least the Jiizuke focus really well. You know, the Ryze denial hasn't had that significant impact. He actually forced them to switch their ban from LeBlanc to Syndra and still had pretty decent setups. This one, though, 0-5 on the LeBlanc seems like the small adjustment from 100 Thieves has found its mark, you know, being able to Rune Prison and also having Leona as far as stun follow-up.
Stun follow-up is in. Closer gets the kill as the Rampage. Jiizuke is down. I don't want to leave him underserved. Huhi has been the one doing most of the setups. The highlight reels are Viego, but Huhi has been locking these people down. He's missed out on 1 kill from his team this entire game. I really want to sing his praise because he has been a huge factor in this one.
Somebody let me know what the responses in all chat have been for this game.
Yeah,
because I know that they're going to be them. 100 Thieves fighting back here. Looks like with Baron buff, this one is going to the Nexus.
Absolutely. Huhi, though, dropped low, has to burn a lot of cooldowns, nearly drops the Realm Warp to say, hey, you know what? We don't need top to be pushed. We'll bring the minions ourselves from bot lane. They get the triple inhib just for good measure. Maybe not quite. Health bars get low. And keep in mind, Dragon Soul's in 25. It's basically a 3,000 gold swing and change just to secure a Dragon Soul. Just claim it for good measure. Nice deletion, though Jiizuke may have actually delayed that move as they're not going to find much more than 100 Thieves' side. It's time to run away. Is there anything to be done in a 5v4, though? Yeah, a bit, but as one turret falls, the recalls come in. Is there a chance they can rush this down? Almost setting up for Closer to execute Jiizuke, but not going to happen. And it might just be that EG are stuck in their base, and it will still be Dragon Soul for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, that's a Ryze teleport over there. Here we go.
Okay, knocked back and forth. Closer tries to get away, has the flash, has the ult, and now just gonna run on his 2 legs. Flash follow for impact, but not in range. And Closer will just barely make his escape.
Get a little frisky with that red buff attempted steal for himself. Team will take care of the objective, so Phreak. No jungler necessary. Abbeddage teleported out there. Ryze can annihilate it.
Mountain Soul claimed. Averages about 3,000 gold across the team in raw HP, and keep in mind it'll regenerate if you take 5 seconds without taking damage. So it can be more than that even.
Exactly. I think that's the key, because it is actually very easy to utilize the drop out 4 or 5 seconds, don't take damage, and get another giant shield back on top of you. So replenishable gold value. Meanwhile, all that's left is the top inhibitor. 100 Thieves have their eyes set on victory, and it's up to EG to make a big play right now, because here come the super minions. Ryze ushers them up on the bottom side. You've got a very quick work in trying to clear them out. They do so. Can Ignar find the opening?
Maybe so, as this is going to be a fair bit of damage. Dungeons are able to jump right back out. They've kicked in the support. Who's going to burn his stopwatch to buy time? Closer dropped half HP, hit with the ulti. The punt in, and Huhi is down. 1 for 0, but they trade supports back, as looks like Ignar will drop as well, unable to flash as he was rune prisoned and just destroyed by Ryze's damage output. The fight continues though with impact at a half HP. Abbeddage just belting out overload still. Wants to get a bit more, but Contract's able to safeguard 2. You have it, safety. But there's only 1 turret left alive inside the base. None of these are not going to be stopped here. These shields, of course, come back up out of combat, and they're tanky yet again. The Fountain adding a bit of the same to EG on their side as they're going to go back and forth. Contracts going to look for the Q, not going to land it here. Dropped low, Closer even lower. And FBI cannot quite find that last kill. Still sitting alive inside the base, waiting for the next little push forward as they're going to find the rune prison and the kill into impact. A good setup by Abbeddage. Turret is still alive for now. The chase in. Jiizuke gets the shutdown to keep his team alive. 3v3 going for a bit more. Contracts the front line will be knocked down, and he will not get up again. EG may be kept down in this one as Abbeddage pops the Zonias, gets more damage. Danny pops his own stopwatch. FBI times the Q, and he's there for the rest of the kills. The mid laner gets the last hit. The Nexus will fall 15-5. 1 final kill traded back, but it's game over. 2-1, 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves, 1 more game, and they make worlds. 1 more game, they guarantee top 3 of the LCS. They have it in their sights. What a performance from them so far in this series, Phreak. Yeah. People were doubting. People were thinking the downfall of 100 Thieves, but they have bounced back here. They've had the extra time to prepare because of the success that they had in Summer Split, getting themselves into this position, really making use of that time. And again, will take us back to our conversation where we were talking about what did they actually prepare? Well, 2 main things. The Ryze steal away, denying, champions from Jiizuke, and then also the Viego performances here over and over again from Closer really have delivered.
Yeah, I'm curious if the draft strategy changes now that their backs are against the wall on the EG side. A loss means a battle with Cloud9 for elimination next weekend. That feels a bit rough. Now, after a statement game, 100 Thieves have pulled ahead and brought us to match point in this Worlds qualifying series. After the break, we're digging